Today here, I'm out at TAS, this 9-hole course, and I'm here for a special reason because I've got in my hand a disc. I was sent this disc by Atlantic Disc Golf, shout out to them. I know that it's an ocean disc sea turtle, but I've not yet seen it or felt it. I only know that because they sent a message of like, hey, we're sending you this disc to review. All right, here it is. My first time seeing it, touching it. All right, so this is the sea turtle. It's by Ocean Discs. It is 60% made up out of waste plastic that they have recovered from the ocean. I actually really like this color too. Cool art. The stamp is nice. It's fine lines. Sea turtle, it's a turtle. 5 speed, 5 glide, -1 turn, 1 fade. I really actually like all the information they have. You don't need to research anything to know about this disc. You can just look at it. As far as mids go, the shape looks pretty nice. PDGA approved, so that's always cool too. It just looks like a standard straight flying mid-range. It's a little bit of a deeper shoulder than some of the other ones I have, like the Sky Terron, but it's the same, like a very similar shape, so that's probably what's gonna make it go a little straight. All right, so this is par 29. So I'm gonna try and get a +3 or better. If I don't, I'm gonna have to give this up in a giveaway. More details to follow if that happens. Hole 1 is 420 feet, par 3. Very straight. That didn't go very much left or right. Didn't quite give myself the most open look here, but it's doable. I definitely a little bit of an early release on that. I'd rather be out to the right a little bit more. There's a little bit more open, but you know, that's where we can test how good a disc is by the challenges. Okay, not getting the par on this hole. I really thought this hole was a par 4, so I'm kind of a little surprised. If you're just probably like 45 feet out, almost saved the par. Right, +1 already, not the best start. The sea turtle was very straight. The big fault there was my drive. It was a little early release, got stuck in the trees, then I didn't quite give it the juice it needed to get down the hill through the trees the right way. Bounced off a tree, happens. But here we go, par 4 now, 558 feet. Just like that. This ocean waste plastic is their baseline plastic. It's a little more flexible than a DX, but yeah, it definitely feels good for a baseline plastic, but it also is not a premium plastic. I'm happy with that parking spot. Normally I putt in circle and make sure I use an actual putter, but these ones are so close it doesn't even matter. All right, this hole and me have wars, but 305 feet, straight and then just tucked off to the left. I'm gonna just try and go for the straight. This disc has been very straight so far, so I'm gonna try and use that to my advantage. Great, love it. I always think with this hole that it's shorter than it is and it's more within my range than it is. I end up being off in these trees here. So it's nice to just have an open look for once. And that was the first bad approach I've made with this disc. It's also one of the longer ones, but the first 2 holes, I hit metal with my approach shot. Still got my par, we're good. All right, here we go, hole 4, about +1, doing good. 275 feet straight ahead. This is a chance for me to make up that one stroke. That's not gonna do it. That's a little bit hyzered. That might be circle's edge. All right, I am just at the edge of circle here. I don't putt as good at the staggered stance, but try it. Missed. Still got my par. Nature appreciation moment. All right, hole 5, halfway through the course. This is a par 4. It says 392 feet. Feels like it plays a little bit longer than 400, but you know, it's not a super long hole still. Very gettable in 4 with just the mid-range. Some of the cool stuff about this disc is, besides the artwork on the front that tells you everything you need to know about this disc, they've included some stamps on the back. So you see oceandisc.com, Sea Turtle by Ocean Discs. They've got PGA approved. They also have a spot where they have a blank space to put weight that no one put in. They also have, if lost, please return to owner with phone number, so a spot to put your phone number. That's pretty cool, a little inclusion of the phone number. And then the weight just means they don't have anyone at the warehouse with the calibrated scale who's weighing these and writing down the weights. That's for you to do, but if you care about that, they've got a spot for it. There's a little bit of a tailwind, so it should make this disc slightly more overstable, but let's just see what we got. Slightly more overstable, but still very straight disc. That did not deviate very much off the flight path. I'm very much a backhand dominant player, but I think it's good to review a disc for how good does it feel on a forehand as well. And for me, how it feels dictates, you know, whether I'm gonna even bag a disc a lot of times, or if I do bag it despite the feeling, how often am I gonna just forego throwing this disc on a forehand hole because it's the right disc, but I don't like the feel. Sent that out with a little too much hyzer. Well, that's within the circle. There's a shot there. Once again, not giving myself a great stance for my birdie putts. Dang. So far, this disc has been actually pretty enjoyable to throw. Very straight. There's not a whole lot of right, but there's not much left either. 304 feet on this hole, hole 6. This tee pad feels a little slick, but I know I can get this. I've gotten there before. Got the snap, missed my line. I'm short, definitely approachable from here. The longest of the par 3s, this is 403 feet, which kind of makes it feel like it shouldn't be a 3 when we had like a 300 foot, I think. No, I'm not gonna say that. All right, longest of the par 3s, 403 feet. It's off in the woods, just to the left. There is a gap here on the left side going right, but really you want to go for the long gap if at all possible. It's more direct and open that way. I'm slightly remembering the pars on these holes off. I thought this was a par 4, but it's okay. This is just a nice straight shot, which is a good shot for a straight mid-range disc. I would normally throw a putter, but just lay it up into the circle. So I would say the best comparison in my bag is this Sky Terron. The moles are actually surprisingly similar. Like the shoulder is just a little bit high, the party lines are just a little bit lower on the Sea Turtle than the Sky Terron, which is what you would expect, because this is slightly more overstable. You would expect a little bit higher shoulder. The shape is very similar. I would say the Sea Turtle feels a little bit closer to a premium plastic, but again, it's not a premium plastic. If I pull up, for instance, this Star Valkyrie, this has more of a premium feel than the Sea Turtle, but their marine waste plastic, their ocean waste marine plastic is their baseline plastic. So you don't really expect a premium feel from this, but I think it is more like, it is a very nice feeling plastic still. Hole 8, 265 feet. This is the most birdieable opportunity I have. I have the power for this. I just have to connect the shot. Oh, I pulled it. It's super flat there, super straight. Got a little bit more fade than I thought I was going to, but that was great. All right, once again, a longer putt. Once again, metal hit. One thing I need is thumb real quick. Put this at the alt tee pad. I feel pretty confident in saying that I beat the target I had of a +3. So next time I'll have to make it a little bit harder if I come to this course. But I also feel pretty confident in approving this disc, giving my own stamp of approval. Because with that 3, I'm sitting at +1. But I did like this disc a lot. It's not as comfortable for me in a forehand as what I usually throw for a mid-range. In my bag, this slot is filled by the compass, which the compass says it's an 01, and I found this to be a very straight disc. And I kind of have the Nord as my other go-to mid-range. This is a little straighter, but it's a little bit deeper, which is not what I look for when I'm playing disc golf and I'm trying to throw a mid-range. Like for my bag, I don't want a forehand that is quite this deep. However, it's a very comfortable backhand disc. It really is straight. I am surprised at how straight this disc was. It had just the slightest bit of turn, maybe like a -0.5, just the slightest bit of turn on a couple of throws that were headwindy. And otherwise it went pretty straight with just a little bit of fade. So I really liked it. Again, it feels really good. This baseline plastic is one of the better feeling baseline plastics. Gotta love the fact that they're, recycling waste plastic too. That's awesome. And stamp is great. I say, this great disc. Find yourself an Ocean Discs Sea Turtle if you are looking for a straight mid-range. And the best place to find it is going to be Atlantic Disc Golf. Thank you once again to them for sending me this disc, and we will see you on the next one.